This is the world's tallest and scariest roller coaster. They call it the Big One. It takes 1 minute to climb the 235 feet to the top. And then sometimes things go wrong.
That's 2 E-stops one after the other.
Today, the Big One has come to a stop in mid-climb. 30 riders are stranded 120 feet off the ground.
I'll let you know about the Pepsi.
What's an E-stop? What we call an emergency stop. The
stops itself.
if it thinks
It may have come into a brake too fast. It may have run out of a brake too
the
fast.
computer shuts the ride down.
The ride has temporarily stopped. Please remain seated.
What we want to do is to get that train off the top of there. That's the priority now, because it's not very nice setup there, is it? It takes time for the computer to reset itself. That's 2 on the trot.
It only stopped for 75 seconds, but that's quite long enough for the local media to sniff out a story.
Oh, Jesus, already? There wasn't a problem, tell him. Okay. Cheers. That was Radio Wave. What's up with the Big One? So, somebody's phoned them, so I just told them that we've just had a stoppage for 75 seconds. Okay? Jesus, they're quick these days, aren't they?
Blackpool Pleasure Beach is Britain's oldest and largest amusement park. With more than 7 million visitors a year, it's this country's #1 tourist attraction. A day out for the family can be a pricey business by the time you've paid for rides, refreshments and assorted souvenirs. Which is good news for the Thompson family. They've owned this end of Blackpool's Golden Mile since the turn of the century. There are over 60 rides. The oldest was built in 1904. Ever since, the park's designers have been devising new, high-tech thrills to keep the punters flocking in.
Give me a priority call, Pete Brown.
The man in charge is Jim Rowland, better known as JR. If a ride stops, the Pleasure Beach loses money. JR likes to keep things moving.
I don't want to close it down. If you've done it, you want to put it on, jump one in between. I don't want to pay out. I was born as a travelling showman. My family still travel on the bus country. So I've always been in it. I've been in the amusement park business now, 25, coming up 26 years next month, with this company. And I don't have any grey hair, and nobody can believe why.
The man who does have the grey hair is JR's #2, Keith Allen. They don't always see eye to eye.
What's your relationship with JR? How does it work?
I work for JR. That's it. End of relationship.
It's a love-hate relationship. He hates me, and I don't love anybody.
Hello, everyone. This is Alice speaking. Come along into my...
Later that morning, there's trouble in Wonderland. Keith Allen has gone to investigate. There's been a spot of bother with the pink Cheshire cat.
Is that it? Is that the bad one? Let's go and give it a slap. All right. We'll get it fixed in a minute. Come back on. Problem is, we've got the offending car back here, and we can't see anything wrong with it.
JR has got wind of the breakdown. He's on the case to make sure that Keith doesn't dawdle. The ride is losing money.
Just get them off. I don't care. Get it open. Now. Just get it off. Repair it in the workshop. Do it now.
That's what we're doing. We're taking them off. Got to get them here first. Better to run with 5 than...
Yes, let's just get it running. We won't disappoint all these customers, will we? As soon as you've got it in there, I want to know. As soon as you've got it all. The minute. Keith, Go and tell them now to fill up the queue pens. Right. Mark it open. Just don't let the people in yet. Yeah. People have different ways of doing things, that's all. I think it's right to repair the car. Well, repair the car in there. Get it back on the road. Okay? Yeah. A little bit. Right. Fix this off. Let's get it over. Are you taking this one off? Yeah. All right. On the base. Alice is real.
My hero. He gets everything done a little bit quicker. Everything he did, I'd already sorted out, but it wasn't quick enough for him. So he shouted, and it made him just move a bit faster. So.
In the ice arena, they're putting another piece of machinery through its paces. It's preparing the surface for this year's skating extravaganza, the Hot Ice Show. The woman in charge is the owner's elder daughter, Amanda Thompson.
What's he doing?
She has a reputation for assertiveness.
John! That is a new machine! You've just spilled water everywhere, you've raced around, it's not a blooming whatever that track, Silverstone. Idiot. What an idiot.
Amanda is not in the best of moods. Rehearsals have started, but she's still missing some key members of her international cast.
Got problems with the DOE, the Department of Employment, because they've still held back on releasing some of my work permits and visas for some of my skaters that require visas, and some hopefully get those passed this week and get them into the country.
Amanda's assistant, Marie, is on to the Department of Employment. She's after a work permit for a Russian star who's stuck in Moscow.
Hi, Alec. Alec, it's regarding Alexei Solovyev. I sent some more information through this morning to show that he'd been working. Can you help me at all?
Alexei has been coaching in Russia. The DOE is demanding proof that he's still an international performer.
Well, they won't have done a brochure for figure skating, coaching. Right, I'll have a word with him. Thanks for all your help. Bye-bye. They need some more publicity information to prove that he's been performing over there as he has done here, which is a nightmare because there's no ice shows in Russia at this moment in time, so all he's been able to do is figure skating, coaching.
The children on the Kiddies Amusement Park are entertained by Bradley Beaver and Baby Bubbles, the park's answer to Mickey and Minnie Mouse. It's shift work. Sharon and Mandy, two of the park's youngest employees, are kitting up backstage for the afternoon session.
When I first started to do it, I felt so stupid. I didn't think I would do it, you know, but then when I actually got on the park, it was all right because I knew nobody knew me anyway.
The heavy costumes are cumbersome and hard to see out of. On the park, the girls need a minder.
The mind is very important to me. It's my eyes, really, because I can't see a lot through this. If there's a little tiny kid in front of me, I can't see him. Really, if they're that tiny. Now, Linda will say to me, watch it.
Sometimes you just act so stupid inside and you dance around all the time. It's great fun. It's just something that, it's one of the best jobs in the world, I reckon, because you can have fun at the same time as doing your job.
There's a capacity crowd today and the rides are working flat out. Keith Allen has been called to the gold mine. A train's broken down, but he's not sure where. The electricians have beaten him to it.
I don't believe it. Is this the train that's stuck? I've come all the way, yeah. There's two ways into this ride. The beginning and the end. I walked into the end. This is 10 foot from the beginning, and this is where the train stopped. So I take it everybody's off.
Yes, that's everyone off.
Hello, Jim. This car's broken down. We'll have it fixed in no time.
Why don't we just push this thing off and get the damn thing open?
Right, Jim.
Get it off out the way and get the bloody thing open.
Right, take this car off. Get the ride open, please. Can you take it off for us? I've got Jim in there, so.
That's what'll happen. Sure as eggs are eggs. You won't take it off and I'll have another breakdown. And I don't want another breakdown. Send the other cars round. Get the working lights off. Let's get this damn thing on the road, shall we? Tell the cashier.
Open, you're right. Yeah, get on with it.
Marie is bracing herself. She's got more bad news for Amanda.
Spoken to the DOE, and they said no. Well, basically they're going to say no. They won't accept his figure skating coaching. Why? It's not the same standard as he's maintained here in Blackpool.
I'm sorry. He's teaching.
I know, they said it's got nothing to do with being a professional.
What, teaching?
Yeah. And being in an ice show and
Of course it
skating
has.
as an
What
ice
do they
show.
think people do? I think I need to speak to them. What do people do when they're not working?
Well, he said that he should be keeping... Bastards.
Who do they think they are? Get me a cigarette, somebody. Yeah. Who do they think they are?
No, but about who?
DOE.
Get me...
Now one sec, can you take your left hand into him? Left hand into him, left hand in.
I just don't believe it at all. It's ridiculous. Come on, answer the phone. Get me Nick Hawkins on the phone or Harold Ellison quickly. Oh, please, the Conservative MPs for Blackpool South and Blackpool North. Quickly, get them on the phone. Okay?
Unlike Disneyland, the Pleasure Beach doesn't charge people to come into the park. But once you're in, everything costs. A ride on the big one will set you back £4, while the other white-knuckle rides are £2 a go. On a busy day, they'll carry 250,000 passengers. To keep them safe, they run a strict routine of daily checks. JR is there to see they stick to it.
Come on, for God's sake. We'll get this bloody thing back up. Come on. Right side. Let's ball on about. Let's get it sorted.
It's hard work. It tends to overawe us a bit, and it puts you off for that split second you need, you know. But he's all right. He's one of the good guys, I suppose. Get him in the bar, he'll buy you a pint. It's not one of the lads. Get a crowd around him, that's it.
Wallabies, wallabies.
He's all around there, you go, get that out.
Wallabies, wallabies.
Amanda's got nowhere with her MP, so it's back to the DOE.
There must be a way we can do this. There must be a way. Well, let me speak to them.
Just get the number.
He's worked for me for a few years here, and now they're saying that they're not accepting him being a professional performer. Those curtains need cleaning! The Department of Employment don't understand the world of skating, so therefore, if you're an ice skater... Yeah.
Do you want to speak to Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, I do.
You try and not go too mad?
Yeah.
Hi,
sorry,
who's that?
I dreamed last night I was on the boat to heaven. Da 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 dee. And where? Oh, we've not let Joanne in the circle.
Okay, that was left for the evening.
Left before 5 o'clock in the evening. The Department of Employment don't work after 4 o'clock, obviously. It's now 10 to 5 and I can't speak to anyone at the Department of Employment because they've gone home. I just don't believe this.
It's Easter weekend. Bradley Beaver is out and about amongst his adoring public.
Say hello to Bradley. Wave hello. Are you pulling Bradley's tail?
You're not meant to do that, you'll hurt him. No, don't mess with his buttons. Oh, big kiss. Ooh.
There are always a few who want to spoil the fun. They won't succeed if security guard Bill Mullin can help it.
Basically, we're all the private police force. I dare say if this was the States, then we would be called police, but because it's Britain, then they call us security. We do everything, more or less, that a policeman will do, all in a confined space. We deal with everything from lost children to drunks to stag do's, hen do's. Every walk of life comes through here. Every bit of the country, all over the world, they all come here.
Hot ice rehearsals are well underway, but Amanda's still on edge.
The Department of Employment have definitely said no to Alex, so that's proved another great problem because that's a week now it's taken them to say definitely no. So we're still a person missing from the show, and it's all very complicated to try and get somebody else in. Just one big headache, really. And that's how we continue from one day to the next.
Excuse me!
Bill Mullin's team has swung into action. Bradley Beaver has been assaulted in the children's park, and they've spotted the culprits on the swamp buggies.
Right, we're on the top of the Tom Sawyer. I'll be there in seconds.
I think that's him.
Which one are you?
Yeah.
You get him in? Go for him.
That place down. They've given her a good kick.
Just let you all know, you're all under arrest for assault, all right? Right, we've got a witness that says you three lads have assaulted a female.
You just get on the kidding car and assaulted one of my beavers.
I am not about. Wait, yeah, you've assaulted a woman. I didn't assault nobody. You've assaulted a woman. I'm telling you now. Right, assaulting. Wait.
Don't hurt me hand.
I'm not hurting you.
You are hurting my hand. So will you move that hand there, will you?
There you go. Not better?
No, it's not better.
In it.
Will you stop pushing me then? I'm not my solicitor about you.
Fine,
honestly.
fine.
I'll have you stop.
Make yourself comfy.
The three suspects are banged up in the Pleasure Beach's own cells.
We're just waiting for the witness to come up, and then we'll call the police, and then once we've called the police, it's in their hands.
Wonder Base, give me TT with any patrols that are near the Avalanche.
JR now has a real crisis on his hands. The bobsleigh Avalanche ride has crashed, 14 passengers are stranded 25 feet up, and some are injured. Sandy, the park's own medic, is on the scene.
God, give me TT with patrol 4. Get there as quick as you can, and next time, bloody well answer me. Wait! Get down to the bottom of the trough right away. Get those people out, will you? As quick as you can. Bob, give him a hand. Sandy, you're not scared of heights, are you? You're going to go and have a look. Yeah? Yes, you do. You want me to follow you? I'll keep you there. I'll keep my arm around you. Get over the cars. Give a man, we've got to bring the people out this way, all right? No problem, Jim. By the time they come out, I want them to feel so assured that you can let them go on their own. We've had a car jump on the brake. We don't know why yet. We've got one young fella that's hurt, and we're just going up to reassure him to get him out. He's not trapped, but he's hurt himself just as the car stopped. He can sit there for 10 or 15 minutes, it doesn't matter, as long as he's okay in the end. We're getting him out now.
The injured boy is 11-year-old Kieran Eves. His mother waits anxiously below.
So everybody were running and everything stopped. So we just went to have a look and we just saw him stuck there at the top. Stomach's not stopped churning yet. It's a bit frightening, really.
Bert, you on your way back?
Yeah, it looks like I'm going to, Jim, yeah.
No, not looks like you're going to. You're on your way back. I need you down in the office when we start sorting these statements out and stuff.
At the cells, the Beavers have come in to identify their attackers.
This is Sharon?
Yeah.
Right, so what have they done to you?
Right, they came up to me and they said, "We've got you now." And then they grabbed hold of me and said, "Are you a woman?" And my minder said, "Yeah." And I said, "Yeah." So they need me down there.
And then they grabbed hold of me and started punching me. And then,
Right. Just have a seat. Want a cup of tea? Oh, right. Do them all booze.
How'd you take it, love? Milk and sugar?
Right, Tom.
no sugar.
No sugar, sweet enough. No.
Can't believe it. You can't, honest. They're entertaining the kids and then they get attacked. It's crazy. You know, no need for it at all, is there?
Kieran may be able to walk, but he's complaining of chest pains. His father was sitting behind him when the accident happened.
As Ride was hitting the final bit to slow it down, as soon as all the front carriages come off the track, so everybody's just like hitting a brick wall, isn't it? It just sent shockwaves through everybody. He was sat in front of me and all my weight's been pushed onto him.
Can you get up? What you want to sit? Right, where are you on?
Yeah, just follow on round the corner, please.
The shaken passengers from the ill-fated Avalanche have been brought to the medical centre.
Are you alright, I think it's the shock with them. You know, it just keeps crying. It's just, I was just panicking about them because these two come off. Craig was still stuck. Lee had gone and I didn't know where he'd gone. I'd left these with Glenn and it was just where can you be, yeah? Come on.
You'll be alright.
Just get your chair over there. You know what?
We were just going along and it just came to a sudden stop. The glasses flew up over the top. Managed to get them back. They landed on the rail, fortunately.
We're with you shortly. By the way, if anyone wants a cuppa after, we'll sort that out. All right?
In the treatment room, there's now real concern about Kieran's chest pains. It could be internal bleeding. He needs to get to hospital.
Okay.
What about his mobile? Okay. Bye.
JR can't get hold of the Pleasure Beach's owner, but Public Relations Director Helen O'Neill has rushed in from home.
Rick, have we had any media phone calls yet?
We've had none at this present time.
Okay. Have we got any injured?
Yes, we have. One has got suspected internal bleeding, one with a cut, and the other one with breathing difficulties. As I say, only 3 out of a full train, so consider ourselves very lucky, I guess.
Hello, Jim Rowan. No, Bart, I'm tied up at the moment, Bart. I'll get back to you. Cheers.
I need to go and have a look.
Well, I'm going to go down there with Keith in a minute now.
Okay, well, I'd like to come with you.
Right, let's go down
It's on, is it on that curve?
Sure
So
is.
it's very visible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello?
His BP's 110 over 64 and the pulse rate of 84. Right, okay.
Where's it hurting you? In your tummy? Or should we get you in the ambulance now?
Yeah, Doc's came.
Right.
You two all right? You want a can of pop or something? You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you do, call me over, all right? Good boy.
All right. Okay. We'll just keep that on there. Okay, because the medical's okay. Okay.
The Beaver case is now in the safe hands of the Blackpool police.
Do you want to have a word with her first?
Yes, I'll speak to her. Who's been assaulted?
This girl.
Are you quite sure these 3 people here are the people that have assaulted you? Have they all had a part in it? Right. Now, for them to be arrested, you're going to have to say something to me like, these are the 3 that's assaulted me. Are you happy to do that? You've got to do it in front of them so they've an opportunity to say whatever they want to say. Okay. Okay, right, can you just tell me what you explained before?
I was in my costume and they all came up to me and started punching me.
Right.
And then this one, they asked my mind if I was male or female.
Just a second.
and he started hitting me.
No,
and then he
see.
put his hand on my helmet
Yeah. No,
and
it's...
started punching me.
No.
And then this one came behind and got my hat and my head and ripped my head off.
Easy enough there. Thanks very much. You want to just clear out the way. Right, lads, you're all three going to be arrested on suspicion of assaulting this girl. Now, for ease, I'll handcuff you together and save you both being handcuffed individually. All right?
Sandy is putting names to faces using the souvenir photos taken moments before the crash. But there's only one thing on everybody's mind.
Sandy, have you called the hospital?
It's too early yet.
Too early.
I can try now if you want.
So I'll just try, just see if we can get any information so that we either know one way or the other.
Particularly young Kieran Eves. Young Eves is still in the receiving room.
Still in the receiving room.
The three boys accused of attacking Bradley Beaver are taken down to the station for questioning. They were later released with a caution. Accidents are bad news for Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but not typical. In fact, official figures show that it's 7 times more risky driving to the park than it is to go on the rides. The Avalanche was closed for 5 weeks for repairs and modifications. Kieran Eves was kept under observation for 4 hours, but then allowed to go home. He'd bruised his ribs, but nothing worse.
It was awful. Awful feeling. I won't like to go through that ever again. I didn't expect anything like that. It was awful.
We're quite lucky that the whole thing didn't fall over onto the side, really, because we were only about 20 foot, 22 foot up, and we're off the track. So, like, we're pretty lucky, I think. Anyway, we'll take the lad home now.
How long gone away?
Yeah, you've been a bit unlucky today.
We were lucky, not unlucky. Lucky.
Next week, Amanda's in a spin as opening night approaches. Susanna arrives from Portugal for the most frightening 3 minutes of her life. And JR sweats out his worst nightmare, a bomb scare.
And that's at the same time, 9:30. Set sail with BBC One tomorrow. The cruise continues at 8.